What's up? How's everybody doing? I usually start this 5 minutes after, but I just am excited to get to Tableau, so went ahead and started a minute early. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Happy December 1st, 2023. Can't believe we're already at week 48. It was wild. We're still doing Global Recognition month, which is awesome. All right, so we've got Shunta Nakajima partnering with Kyle Yetter on this week's challenge. And Shunta, I hope that I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not. We are excited to have you and welcome you to Workout Wednesday and collaborating with Kyle on a challenge. So what he's got for us today is a challenge of adding these variance bars to your side-by-side bar charts, and which is also kind of a, you can have like a, I think candlesticks is kind of what it's called. So we'll get into that a little bit. We've got some dynamic options here. So we can select a comparison, we can select a measure, and then as you can see, everything updates updates really, really smoothly, I will say, as well. So this is what we're going to build. It's going to be really fun, and we'll see. We'll see how much fun we can have. So, thankfully, we are just working on that good old Superstore data source, and that's what we're going to do. So, all right. So let's go to Tableau. Here we are, and I'm going to connect to data. We're going to connect to the Superstore. We'll do. Let's see. Here we go. Whoa. Oh, that is not good. I don't know why let's close that. Let's just go to our good old fashioned Superstore. Disable Superstore. Let's create the extract just so we don't forget later, or else I will, because that's how things work, right? Save it wherever we want, because it doesn't matter, because we're going to publish it on Tableau Public. Okay. Here we go. So, first thing we should probably do, let's get, what do you want to do first? You want to do the candlesticks? You want to do the dynamic stuff? Let's do the dynamic stuff. So let's do current year. So I'm going to build this. I'm going to build this here. So he says in the requirements, he said, do not hard code the latest year in comparison years. We can, let's see here, turn off my, I'll turn on my do not disturb. There we go. All right. So do not hard code. So as things update, we want to be able to have things update as, we want to have these update. Yeah, I'm gonna do so that's what we're gonna do. So for the current year, that's gonna be this guy right here. That's gonna be the max of year of order date. Need another parentheses here. There we go. So that's the current year. And then we'll do P1 or PY1. Let's do that. PY1 is current year minus 1. Let's do PY2, current year minus 2. And then we'll do, nope, not that yet. We don't need to do that. Let's finish this here. We will do PY3. And we'll do PY, this will be current year minus 3. Okay, so now if I've done this right, I should have a current year sheet which is going to be, let's see, how do we want to do this? I think I'm going to do, yeah, I'll do it this way. I'm going to convert this to, duplicate. I'm going to convert this to a dimension. Put that on text. Make that entire view. Let's do center, center. And then let's go in here and let's format this guy. All right, what's this look like? That's maybe what, let's call it an 18. 15, let's try 15. Looks better. Okay, and then we'll do medium. There we go. See what that looks like. Very good. Give this guy a sheet color of this purple color. Okay, so I actually have a, this is color picker. Here we go. And the great thing about this Mac extension is that as soon as I click it, it automatically copies the hex code to my clipboard. So now whenever I go here and I go, oh, we want to make this a square. And we want to make this entire size. And we want to color that square by, well, I thought I did. There we go. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Yep, that looks good. Now we will duplicate, and this will be PY1. Oh, I guess I should see, are there only 4 sheets? Okay, so that's, all right. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, very good. So this is PYs, or PY comparison. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do measure names, and I'm going to do P1, P2, P3. Okay, and then I'm going to put measure names on columns, and I'm going to put measure values on text. Okay, so we have, and then I will, let's see, can I just turn these into, I can't do that. Okay, so we'll have to figure that out, but I can format these to be number, no decimal places, and no thousands, right? So now I'll go up here and I will do, I think we did 15 medium. And then to get the measure names. Oh yeah, got it. Okay, so we need, there we go. Do I need those? I don't think I do. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I added a blank space holder, a blank, just an empty text here, and that's going to partition my columns. I'm going to get these row dividers here, and that's going to allow me to go here and do column divider, and I'm going to do them extra thick and white, and that's what's going to give me that separation there. All right, so that's what's going to allow me to get this separation right here. I need to change this to, all right, how is this going to work here? Okay, let's go ahead and create a parameter. The good thing is I can use measure names and measure values in parameter actions, but it's going to be an integer, and I'm going to default it to 2022. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that is the comp year. Okay. Okay, so 2022, and then I'm going to show that value. And I'm going to now set up a worksheet action. It's going to be a parameter action, but it's going to be on the entire data source. And whenever I select anything on PY comparison, it's going to target the comp year, and it's going to be measure values. And it's going to be a sum, and we'll keep the current value. Yes. Okay. So now I see 2022 over here. Hopefully it changes. Yeah, there we go. Good deal. Okay, so that's working. That's good. So now I need to do, how are we going to do this? Let's do, trying to think how we can add this indicator here, right? So let's do, what are we going to do? Let's call this is 2022. Now the thing is I can't use measure names and measure values in calculated fields, so I'm going to have to build out each calculated field separately, or at least that's the way I'm going to attack this. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do comp year equal 2022, and then I'm just going to duplicate this 2 more times. And this is 21. And this is 2020. Like that. And then I think I can go in here and do, nope, okay, so we'll do, can I change my data type? So you can change your Boolean. Did you know you can change your Boolean calculated fields to 1s and 0s as opposed to true false? Did you know that? You can. I just did, right? So that's that. And this is that, okay? So then I can go in here, and that gives me a number format, and I can go here, and I can now do the, so if it is +1, let me get my, there we go, frequently used. Triangle, and we'll do this one. So that's positive, and that's negative. And then that's 0. So the way that you number format things is positive, negative, 0, right? So when you're doing custom number formatting, you custom number format the positive numbers, and then you separate it with a colon to get the negative number format, and then you separate it with another colon to get the 0 format. So if I just have spaces here, and then this character for true, what I should see if I drag this to label, I should see a triangle only on 2022. I don't. Why is that? Oh, because it is 2022 for that. Okay, so that's not going to work. Okay, so let's do this instead. So that's not going to work. That's okay. Well, let's do this. Let's do Okay, I'm trying to think here. Yeah, because it's never going to be false because there's only one thing in the, yeah, it would never be false. But I could do, well, no, because that's not going to work. Oh, what about this? Instead of measure names and measure values, let's just do this. Let's do, I still need that, but let's do order date year. And we'll do that. We will, and then we need to do a date. We need to do a year filter where year of order date is not equal to current year. And this will be our year filter. There we go. This is working better. All right, so I don't need this. And I don't need this, I don't think. No, I don't. I'm going to take my filter that I just created, year filter, and I'm select true, and that's going to get rid of 2023, like that. And now I can just take this. I can just take year of this, put it on put it on there. Now I can take my calculated field, and I can just, this will be my comp year indicator, and that'll be comp year equal year of order date. But I can still do that same thing. So I can still do as a number, I can still do number format. That, oop, semicolons. Okay, there we go. So I get that, and now when I drop that on label, you see I get, now I need to reverse sort this. There we go. And so now you can see I get a triangle, and then I can do it on color as well. Nope. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that works. Okay, so this is going to work. What I can do now, yeah, this will work, right? So I'll do this, but then I'll go into the colors, and that will be, I need to go to my grayscale. Whenever it's not selected, it needs to be a light gray, and when it is selected, it needs to be kind of a darker gray. There we go. And then I can go into here, go into this, get rid of my missing field, take my comp year indicator and just move it there, give it a little space, make it centered, and then I can just format this guy to be red. Do I have a darker? Yeah, I do. There we go. There we go. See how we got that? Let me make that red a little darker. I'll go here. There we go. I like that. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so you can see here we've got our PY comparison. We've got our current year. Now we need to do the same thing for this, right? And we can use the measure names and measure values because we'll just use measure names. So measure names, we're going to do sales, quantity, and profit. Actually, we don't, let's use the tools we have, and let's not reinvent the wheel here. Let's do calculated field. Let's do, nope, we don't need calculated field yet. We need measure names. And we need sales, profit, and quantity. We don't need the year filter in here anymore. We don't need that in here, right? So get rid of that. And measure names will go in here. And measure values. There we go. And oh right. Copier indicator. Copier indicator. Yeah. And I don't. Oh yeah, I guess I do need that, huh? Okay. Well, that's alright. Actually, I just need it on detail. I don't need it in the. There we go. And we're going to have sales over here. Sales, profit, quantity. And then we'll do another parameter. And we'll do create a parameter. I'll have it defaulted to, it's going to be a string. This is going to be measure. I'll call it p measure for parameter measure, and it's going to be defaulted to sales. Okay. Let's do p measure equals sales. But if I do that again, we're going to end up in the same spot we were earlier, where everything is going to be. So I need some sort of a dimension, right? Because that's going to be. So I'll use a little trickery here. Let's go with, yeah, we'll do segment because segment's not being used. Oh, and it's perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to segment, we're going to alias our segment field. Consumer is going to be sales. Corporate is going to be profit. And home office is going to be quantity. So then what we'll do is we'll take segment and we'll drop it on there. We don't need measure names, we don't need measure values, but we do need segment here. And we're going to drop that over here again. Oop. There we go. Okay. We have that. We have p measure here still. And let's go ahead and show that parameter. And let's create a dashboard action. Or a worksheet action, I should say. Worksheet action. This is, let's edit this to be the comp year action. And then this is the measure action. And it's going to be on the data source, and it's going to be on py2. Target parameter is p measure. Source field is segment. Keep current value. Aggregation not very good. Okay, so let's select OK. So you can see here, everything is updating, right? So that works. Now, we need to talk a minute about parameter. We need to talk about what happens with parameters, right? We know that parameters have two labels or two characteristics. I don't know what the right word is, but parameters have values and they have displays. right? Values and displays. Additionally, columns or dimensions and the dimension members also have two. They have values and they have aliases, right? So which one does Tableau care about? Tableau thinks of everything in values, and then it displays everything in either display as or aliases. Okay, so when you are doing something like this, you need to be thinking about the values behind your parameter or field. So, having said that, if I go and I say, what's this true? What is this? Oh, yeah. P measure equal what? P measure equals segment. Right? Look at this. This is interesting. Right? Because, again, it's doing it because you have sales here, right? And we alias them as sales, right? We aliased it as sales. So you can see this is how that's working, right? So now we can go in here and we have like a gold. Yeah, there we go. So we'll have kind of this, for true, it'll be this kind of really, this green color and yellow for that. There we go. I like that. Okay. No, I don't think I do. It's all right. I think I want to do, I need to find this kind of burnt. Let's do, what does this look like? Well, it's not this one, it's this one. There we go. Let's do that. I don't think I like that either. There we go. We'll call it that. Okay. And then we need to do calculation 1 again on as a number, and whoop, yep, it's going to change because we changed the underlying value of that. So false will be this color, that will be that color. That looks good. I guess I could do this, right? I just did it. So let's do that color. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Now, this is measure. All right, so what we came here to do, right? What did we come here to do? We came here, let's clean all this up here. Show header, don't show tooltip, don't show tooltip. Don't show tooltip. So there is no tooltips here. Do the same thing here. Show header, no tooltip. Show header, no tooltip. And show header. Yeah, there we go. So there's no headers there. Okay, very good. And then yeah, we don't need this. Okay. All right. So we've got our 3 sheets. We've got our, the other thing we need to do here is we need to go in here, go to number format, go to custom, get our triangle again. There it is. So there it is. And use triangle. now, semicolon, semicolon. Now we'll drop that on text. And we need to go to label, go here, go here. Okay, it'll still be there, yeah. All right, cool. All right, so go here. Now we can center. Calculation 1 and segment, and this is that. There we go. Okay, so we got that working. Well, let's not call it calculation 1. Let's call it measure check. There we go. All right. Now, congratulations. We have made it through the dynamic part, and now we're ready to start making some sheets. So, I'm going to create some calculated fields here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do calculation 1 is measure. Mohammed Abdu, is this live? Yes, this is live. This is happening right now as we speak, as I type. You are watching me type live. This is not recorded. As well as I have not seen or looked at this challenge prior to starting this live stream, so I did not do homework. I am looking at this live, so first time I'm seeing it, the first time I'm doing it. So we have this is going to be current year measure, current. We'll see CY measure, and we'll do if year of order date equals current year, then I haven't made my dynamic measure yet, so I need to do that. This will be dynamic measure if this will be case some sales. Oh no. Yeah, okay. Sales when profit, then profit when quantity, then quantity. End. Okay, now we'll create this. We'll create CY measure is the if year of order date equals current year, then we're going to replace that with dynamic measure. Else null. And this is going to be comp measure if comp year equals year of order date, then dynamic measure. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take measure names, filters. I'm going to do CY measure and comp measure. I'm going to take my subcategory. Nope, not category, subcategory. I'm going to drag measure values, columns to get bar charts, and it broke. Why is that? Okay, let's do. No, not there. Yep, 2023. Okay, CY measure. Okay, so it has to do something with the dynamic measure. Okay. Oh. See, this is weird. So I think what I need to do is yeah, so again, this is where we have to think about parameters and being values or display as, right? Because what Tableau is looking for in this case statement is the value of what we did, not the display as. And the value, if you remember, because we used segment to alias to get our sales profit quantity, what Tableau is actually looking for here are the values, the underlying values here. So if I bring up so I need to do consumer, corporate, home office. So I need to change this to consumer, corporate, and home office. And there we go. Okay, and then, so right now I've just got two measures on here, right? And you can see that it's two measures, right? So because they're on top of each other. So I need to actually split that out here, right? So there's my CY measure. Here's my comp measure, right? So I have two things here, which is great, which is exactly what we want. We are going to sort this by CY. So let's do a sort. Let's do a nested sort descending by CY measure. So we got phones, chairs, binders, storage, copiers, yep, and all the way down to envelopes. Very good. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to add the little bars here, right? So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to, let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm going to duplicate this comp measure. And then what I'm going to do, instead of putting it within measure values or measure names, I'm going to create a secondary axis. And that gives me, as you can see here, that gives me a third row in measure in the rows. But what I can actually do now is make this a dynamic field. I can make this a dual axis, synchronize, and change these all back to bars. And here you can see I have that, right? You can see I have all of those measures. But we're not done yet, because what we actually want to show is we want to show the variance, right? We want to show the variance between those. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this from that. We're going to change it into a Gantt bar. And that brings it there. Now, here's where things get interesting, right? So what I actually need to do is not use the comp measure, the copy of comp measure, to be my mark for the variance. I actually want to find the minimum value between my two measure names. I need to find the minimum value. So what I can actually do, this is going to be this will be the variance start, and I'll remove the copy. But then what this is going to be is it's going to be the minimum of some comp measure, and some. So what this is going to do for each row, for each row in the partition, it's going to return the minimum value. So and what I mean by that, you can see here, right? Like see this right here? See how this is always going right here? I want it to be wherever the shortest value is. Right? I want it to be wherever the shortest value is. So I actually want this Gantt mark to be right here. And it looks like every single other one is good because, and you would expect that, right? You would expect that most are, you would expect that everything go up, that everything increase, right? You want things to increase year over year. So your comp measure should be the lowest one every time. But as you can see here for the machines, that's not the case. So by clicking apply here, and that's going to turn it into an aggregate measure, and variance start is right there, and there we go, right? So now you can see that Gantt mark is always right here, right? It's always at the lowest. Now all we need to do now is we need to find the variance between that, right? So, and actually, as you can see here, and we're going to have to do some other things here too, right? So we're going to have to do sum of CY minus sum of comp measure. But let's think about this before I click apply here. Let's think about something here, right? Well, what's going to happen for this value, because this is larger than this, we're going to get a positive difference. So then whenever we drop this on size, because that's how you make a bar chart, or that's how you make a Gantt bar, is you have a mark and then you apply a size measure to that, and that bumps it up all the way over here, right? Now, what's going to happen if we do this calculation right here on this measure right here? Because it's going to return a negative size, so it's going to drop down this way, and that's not what we want. So in order to fix that, all we're going to do is we're going to return the absolute value of that, and this will be the absolute variance. This will be the variance ABS, absolute. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that on the size of my Gantt bar. And you can see here now, right? It's got, you can see that we've got a, and then what I can do is I can drop the overall size of this down to be as small as what we want, right? Something like that. I don't need measure names and measure values on here. Well, I should say that. I do want measure names on color for the bars, but I don't need it for that. Okay. So there's that. We're getting somewhere, right? I can get rid of my header. And let's see, what do we want to do now? Well, we can get rid of our measure names. We don't need to show the header of that, right? It's just going to be that. We also are not going to need grid lines. Well, we don't need to worry about formatting quite yet. But there's one thing that we need to do if we look at our example again. So we need to have measure names. Let's edit the colors here. So the CY measure is this purple color, and this is that gray color. That looks good. It's probably not the right color, but that's okay. And then you can see here we have red or green, depending on the positive or negative. So what we need to do now, I'm going to duplicate my variance absolute. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to edit it. and it's just going to be, instead of the absolute, it's going to be the sign. And I'm just going to change my absolute to sign, which means it's going to return -1, 0, or 1, depending on the sign of the result of doing that calculation. I'm going to make this a... Oh, that has to be that. Yep, that has to be a... but I am going to change it to discrete. And now I can drop that on the color of my Gantt bars. Click that, and you can see here -1 is red and +1 is green. Right? So there we have it. So there you have how to make Gantt bars or candlestick bars for your side-to-side bar charts, right? So you can show side-to-side bars, and then you can add these candlesticks to show the variance as well, which is really nice. It's really handy. So last thing we need to do is a little bit of formatting here. So some additional formatting. So now what we need to do, I'm going to duplicate my variance one more time, and now I'm just going to actually return the actual variance. I don't need that. There we go. And then I can take my variance, add it onto label, do my variance default number format, currency, no decimal places. That looks good. Then I need to do my percent variance, which is going to be well, it's going to be the variance divided by sum of comp measure. Click OK. Change that number format to a decimal. 1 decimal place. There we go. 26.8. Yep, good. Okay, so now we'll do a little bit more. Yep, we'll do a little bit more on my variance here. We'll do number format here. As I mentioned, just like we did custom formatting, I already set this. Now I'll go to custom, and I'll just add a plus right here. Like that. I'll go to my variance. I'll do my percent variance. I'll go to number format. I'll go down to percentage. And I will need my... There it is. Here. There we go. .0%. And if it's a, and then probably just to be, you can never be too careful with these things. Just to be careful, if it's a 0, if there is actually a 0% change, we should probably just do a circle. Just do a black dot. All right. Click OK. And now I've got my bars, or I've got my triangles on that. And then we'll just do a little bit of label formatting here. And we'll put that over here. Add a space. we go. And we'll call this the candle bar. Now we'll put it all on a dashboard. 10 by 8, already there, good deal. Now we'll just do a vertical container. Put our candle bar in there. Do a horizontal on top of that. Current year, PY comparison, and measure. Hide titles. And change the height to, what's 100 look like? We can do a little bit more formatting here if we wanted to. Let's see. There we go. I like that. Alright, so let's make sure all this works. So if I select 2021, dashboard, actions, oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. Looks like I'm going to need to, increase my, add a reference line, entire table, and it'll be there we go. Nope, yep. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get rid of this. See how it kind of goes over into the thing. So I'm just adding a little bit. I'm adding this kind of fake reference or distribution line. That's 105% of the maximum, so that everything kind of fits, so that I can get enough space to do that. And then we'll do no line, no fill, just like that. No label, no tooltip. Now it doesn't look like we have a, and then I'll do no name here. There we go. And there we go. So we got that working. I'll hide this, hide that. So there we go. And then what we can do, let's just make sure this is working. There's our percent, there's our quantity. Yeah. So that's working just wonderful. Cool. Well, there you have it. That's how you build a candle bar chart. Side-to-side bar charts with a candlestick bar, which is really just a Gantt bar, to show the variance. What did we do? We had to create custom fields to calculate these things, put them as measure names and measure values. Then we had to find the overall minimum of each of those, of either of those bars, find the absolute minimum, return it as a Gantt line, find the absolute value of the difference between those, and then we did that just like that. So that's how we did it. Did some formatting, did some color, created some dynamic selections up here. Overall, pretty good challenge. Really enjoyed it. It's a good fun one. So, having said that, as always, I really appreciate you tuning in, and watching these videos. I really enjoy doing them. I hope you get as much enjoyment of learning as I do explaining. As I mentioned, I do this every single Friday at this time, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time here in Kansas City. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it. As always, my name is Sean Miller, Hipster Viz Ninja. Like the sign says over there, we are data people. Go forth and viz.